So let's get a lot more on the storm now. We're going to you, Michelle Gresham, to find out what's the very latest on it.
Yeah, hi there, guys. Well, yeah, the destruction is not over. We're still looking at a pretty active day in parts of Georgia, also the Carolinas, and we are looking at a tropical storm status. So keep in mind, this came on shore yesterday around 12:30 Central Time, 1:30 Eastern Time, and we are still keeping the status of 60 miles per hour. So as we go throughout time here, we're going to see it moving very fast. That's the good news. It really picked up speed. It's not going to be like Florence that's going to sit and spin and drop all this rain. It's going to move very quickly, but in the meantime, it's going to bring some very heavy rain, and it's also going to bring the chance of tornadoes. Now, we want to go to Matt Bradley. He's live in Tallahassee. Matt, how are the conditions there this morning?
Well, Michelle, as you can see, this is the kind of damage that's been typical here in Florida's state capital. These trees are actually the pride and joy of Tallahassee. I don't know if you knew this, but trees are kind of Tallahassee's thing. They are covered with about 50% of the city by tree cover. And so that was the main damage that we saw here, were these felled trees and branches. And the big problem, of course, then is that you are destroying property, destroying cars, houses, and most importantly, electrical lines. So we saw about nearly 80,000 residents of Tallahassee without power. And if you look at this, tree like this is a parking lot. This could have crushed some poor guy's car. But a lot of Floridians, especially a lot of residents of Tallahassee, they very sensibly decided to evacuate. And that's why this town was a ghost town yesterday, and it still is today. We were driving around, and a lot of it seems almost completely uninhabited. There's a lot of power outages. We were hearing some of the power breakers breaking yesterday. And so this is kind of typical of the damage we've been seeing, even though Tallahassee did feel as though it was spared the worst. Michelle?
That's true, Matt. And I have heard about the trees being that beautiful landscape there. Is there concern this morning once the sun does rise to see destructive damage that we didn't really see yet? I know it happened in the afternoon, but we were kind of hunkered down. Then the sunset. Are we worried about this morning? Is there concern among the residents there?
Well, we haven't really gotten out and talked to a lot of the residents yet. It's very early in the morning. What we've been hearing from local media is that people here in Tallahassee are grateful. They feel as though this historic storm, and we're really talking about historic. I mean, a storm of this magnitude has never really hit the Florida Panhandle in recorded history. So that level of threat, given the amount of damage that we're seeing this morning, that we're hearing about, there could still be more that's reported, but right now everybody here feels as though they've been blessed with a lack of damage and a lack of destruction. Michelle?
Yeah, we do love hearing that. Mexico Beach, not so lucky. Matt Bradley, thanks so much. We'll check in with you a little bit later this morning. But I do want to give you the latest on this. We mentioned 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's a pretty strong tropical storm. Now, as we go throughout time, by 8 o'clock, still a tropical storm, 40. That's right at the edge of a 39. That's where you do classify it as a tropical storm. It's going to move into the Carolinas and eventually into parts of Virginia, just the southern parts of Virginia. So this is what we're going to watch over the next several days. That will be the big story for today in terms of the rainfall. We could see anywhere from 3 to 6 inches up to 8 inches. And that could be a problem, especially in the Carolinas, where they're still recovering from Florence. The ground is so wet. The rivers are still so saturated. We could see some trees coming down and additional power outages as we go throughout the day. Right now, about 650,000 customers without power. So here are the alerts. We do have a tropical storm watch up through the Carolinas. This is something we're going to watch throughout the day. Impacts, extreme winds. That's probably going to be the biggest threat. The rain, not so much. It's moving pretty quickly at 20 miles per hour, but we could see damaging winds again, bringing those power lines down, and we could be a couple days without power, seeing winds near 39, even up to 48 miles per hour in some spots. We'll talk more about this. We'll talk more about the unprecedented storm. Yes, the Panhandle has seen nothing like this in history.
It's really been such a 1-2 punch. Thank you so much for that, Michelle.
Sure.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.